can't see this on the live stream, but if you could get close to this, I mean, this thing is just jewelry. It's
Alright guys, welcome back to the Combustion Guys YouTube channel. Today we're checking out some of the Dodge Unveil videos. And so we've already seen the Drag Race Pack Challenger, the Build to Suit Challenger, and then you also have this carbon fiber build, final speed carbon fiber 1970 Charger. And that thing looks very, very cool. But we got a few other vehicles that they have to announce on this particular video. And then of course we have two other videos that Dodge did unveiling cars that we'll take a look at here in just a second.
I think we got you covered on that as well, or uncovered as the case may be.
And so here we go. We got the unveiling of the convertible Dodge Challenger Hellcat. So that's finally back. Looks really good. Not sure how many units there's going to be made of this, but that looks very nice. Nice to see that back again. Currently, if I remember correctly, it is the only. It's going to be the only muscle car to be that way. Oh wow! So it's actually done in Florida. That's cool.
So we created an option with them that we can ship your car, your brand new car. We can ship it straight from our factory to them for the upfit, and then back to your dealer for delivery through you. So you just come to our dealer, pick out the car you want, it goes to them, seamless, comes right back to you for delivery. Unbelievably.
That's cool. So, in other words, we got a Florida company that Dodge is working with, sending them down to get the convertible conversion done after you've ordered your Challenger. That's neat. Very cool. I like that. So, that's certainly awesome to hear. So, that's why so many Challengers are down here nowadays. That's interesting. So cool. That's cool to know. So let's see what this other unveil is. So there's a bunch of rumors about this. The Hellcat Durango wasn't going to get made. Luckily, Dodge, all the way back from the 70s when you had the idiotic emission stuff that got started by the garbage EPA, they were the rebel force back then, saying, we don't care, we're going to make these high-powered muscle cars for as many years as possible. They went for about 2 to 3 years after the emissions started hitting, and they kept it up. So great deal by Dodge being able to do that again. We got the stupid electric push going on right now, and luckily Dodge once again still holding on, still pushing their high-performance combustion engines. The best engine, the most they're just the best engine, the best sustainable engine out there. The combustion engine really is. Check out the facts. It's very, very easy to find. But yeah, nice to see Dodge basically saying we don't care, being the rebels. I like them being the rebels. That's good. So keeping their heritage going by saying, nah, we don't care. We're gonna keep making these high performance combustion engines as long as we can. That's certainly cool.
Still time to get the most powerful SUV ever. The Durango SRT Hellcat is back for the 23 model year, and even though they were able to figure out how to keep building it, you all know the stories you heard about emissions, compliance, and blah, blah, blah. It is not detuned. Still 710 horsepower, 645 pound-feet of torque. It's still the best-in-class towing, and most importantly, it's the most badass SUV you can buy, period.
It's also one of the most comfortable SUVs out there as well. In the third row, not so much. But any SUV's third row usually isn't that great anyways. But honestly, this SUV has been so good for so long. I know Motor Trend and all the other guys, they whack it and bang it around and hate it and stuff. But honestly, Dodge, with this vehicle, with how old all of their platforms are, have made these cars some of the best they can be interior-wise, and have made them the best performance-wise with what they have. I mean, we can yak that sure they're not the best handling cars, but I mean, hey, you don't get the memes as much about the Ford Mustangs. You don't get that type of memery going on with the handling of the Chargers, the Challengers, and the Durangos. You don't get that as much. So they've done something with the handling, and they've done a really good job. But yeah, these cars are just, they're some of the best. They are a golden era of vehicles, and yeah, I've always loved the Dodge interiors on this particular Durango. Really great seat. It's a nice step into. The car is very easy to get in and out of. It's a very comfortable seat once you're in, and it's great. The car feels great no matter what engine option you have. It has great acceleration. It has good handling. And for everyday driving, it feels really good. But obviously, for that performance edge as well, those things do great on the drag strip as well. So, I haven't seen anyone try to do a Durango on like a road course setting. That might be kind of interesting to see. But other than that, these things are definitely good. And as you said, best class in towing. And by the way, even with this much horsepower, stuff draining your fuel, etc., these things, for the most part, still have a little bit better mileage than the stupid electric cars. You can go further with these gasoline, high-powered vehicles that are drinking up your gas. Obviously, it's a little bit painful on the pocket, but you're still getting further than you're getting than the Teslas and the other things on the range, if you want to talk about that. And also, that's something else that nobody talks about. How much does this electricity cost? So we don't have a balanced view of how much does it cost to fill up my car. Because there's a cost. Nobody's talking about it, but there's a cost to having to plug in your electric vehicle. So I'd really like to see someone break down the cost on this. I don't know what the cost is, but how much is the actual regular price of gasoline? Because, I mean, you can read these things regularly. Obviously, you want to do 93 if you can, but do it on 87. Make sure you keep the octane booster in. Make sure you keep it cleaned with the injectors, etc. But I would like to see a breakdown of how much does running these things on 87 compared to an electric car's charge time. I want to see what all that cost is, because there's certainly a cost somewhere with electric cars. No one's talking about it, so that needs to be talked about somewhere. But I love these cars, and they're certainly some of the best out there on the road.
Now, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. While this ordering window is opening, there is another one that's closing. And it's really important that we need to talk about. The 23 model year Chargers and Challengers will be the last of the Hemi-powered L cars that we build. And when that window closes, there's no reopening it. Production ends December of 23. You need to get your orders in now or never. Because when the last Hemi Chargers and Challengers roll off the line at Brampton, it's going to be the end of a legendary era. And it's hard to believe, but that 20-year run in Brampton unleashed nearly 3 million Dodge muscle cars to the world.
That's incredible.
That's 1 billion horsepower off the line and straight to the streets.
That's great.
Now, to the men and women of Brampton Assembly, thank you. Not just from us at Dodge, but from the entire brotherhood.
Yeah, what I do want to know is, obviously, you have, it's mostly in the aviation industry, usually you have a great pride when it comes to the airplanes that get built, the airplanes that get maintenance. You really do have that high level of pride because there's so few airplanes that are out there. So you do have a certain level of pride that you take into your work. There is that to some extent. Well, what's interesting is we don't usually hear about how people think about building these cars, and so that would be kind of interesting. It's like, hey, I get to build these cars for a living. I mean, sure, it's like any other job. It can get mundane at times, I'm sure. But what's interesting, we don't usually hear about the people that get to build these really cool, loved muscle cars, and it would be kind of interesting to hear their perspective on being able to build these and say, hey, I get to see them. I get to see them in the plant, and then I get to see the finished product on the street and on YouTube and stuff doing these crazy things. That would be kind of interesting to hear.
Now, rest assured, we're not going to let this epic run and quietly. After all, the past 19 years, that production line has been second to none when it comes to delivering horsepower. And with millions of Chargers and Challengers under their belt, we're going into that final round swinging. So to mark the end of that legendary chapter in muscle car history, each of the Brampton-built Dodges will get a special plaque in the engine compartment designated as the end of that era. And to prove that we've been reading your posts, like I said earlier, and listening, the paint booth is also going to be busy. We're reopening the throwback colors that you've been screaming for. P5 blue, plum crazy purple, sublime green, and the modern color that you can't get enough of, Destroyer Gray. They're all back in the plan for the final year.
Hallelujah.
Now, we're also marking the end of this badass era with 6 unique special editions.
So this was pretty interesting, so I'm not going to go through it because it doesn't really get anything specific. But basically, they're going to have multiple renditions of these 6 special editions. And whatever Dodge dealer has had the most orders for the Challenger, the Charger, the Durango, etc., whoever's getting the most orders for those vehicles, they are going to get these special editions. So if you want to have a chance of getting some of these special editions, you have to order early at your Dodge dealer and tell your friends to order at the same one as well, so one of you might be able to get some of these special editions. So that's important to note. Really cool, all the different stuff that they're doing. Of course, having the colors coming back, that's really cool. Especially the B5 blue, love that color. The green, oh man, the color is awesome. I always call it Jolly Rancher Apple myself. Actually, there might be a different color that is that, but still, it's a beautiful color. Plum Crazy, I'm not super crazy, haha, about that, but the Destroyer Gray, oh boy, that thing is beautiful on the street, especially if you have like the black matte hood on these cars. Man, that thing looks awesome. But yeah, certainly a lot of cool news. Glad to see Dodge once again being the rebel, being the force to say, okay, no, we're gonna hold out as long as we can. I do like that. Honestly, what's interesting is that we had the weird report from I think it was Car and Driver, a few other places as well. But then of course Car and Driver's been I don't know what they are, the garbage magazine anyways, for the most part, just with their attitude. They have a nasty attitude. I don't know what's wrong with that magazine. But supposedly they had confirmed that they would switch over the platform, but the Dodge Hemi engines would pass over. So from this particular video, we're hearing the opposite of that. So where the truth lies, we don't know. But I would say one thing to Dodge is, hey, maybe you're not building the street cars, going to the dealer and stuff like that, but maybe keep building the kit cars, because like, hey, the platform for the Challenger and the Chargers, I mean, you don't have to change it, just have it built and let people buy the kits for the bodies and stuff, and keep building the combustion engines and let people drop those things in themselves. And I think that would be a much better choice, in my opinion, than simply letting it disappear and die myself. Especially since ultimately the electric grid is not going to be able to keep up with the electric cars, because we're not nuclear powered at any state of the world. We definitely need to get some more nuclear plants started, because the solar is not going to be able to keep up, because the sun does not keep shining. It doesn't happen. Especially here in Florida, we're the Sunshine State, and almost about 50% of the time we're covered in clouds with lightning. So it doesn't work out that way. It doesn't work out 24-hour sun. It doesn't happen. And also wind power. I mean, I don't know why people want to go with wind. I mean, it does. I mean, it sounds like a refrain, but it does honestly kill our birds. It kills our beautiful eagles, our hawks, and other animals. Whether you care about that or not, but still, it's like the people that say they want to do this for the good are killing the animals. So I don't get the point on that. But still, yeah, it's going to be interesting as people keep trying to force this transition. But I definitely think that Dodge holding out as long as they can is the best thing possible for us in the long run.